Thank you. I'm not sure that was a high bar lead-in after a constitutional debate that was there. So, but I wanted to clap after you did that. Thank you all. You are doing the hard work of democracy. Literally billions of people around the world could only dream of being in the space where you're at, gathering as free people to make decisions about how we govern our lives. So thank you for that. I'm Tim Walz. I'm a public school geography teacher from Mankato. Coached a little football with my old friend Rick Sutton back here for some years. Built the prom for a while, and I supervised a lot of things like the lunchroom for 20 years. I'm retired Sergeant Major in the Army National Guard, and I've had the privilege for the last 11 years to represent Southern Minnesota's 1st District in the United States Congress, the 2nd Democrat in 125 years. A district that has fewer Democrats in it than this district that we're in, just to be clear. We can win with our progressive message. We won with the idea that equality of who you want to marry is your choice. The idea that women can be trusted to make their own healthcare decisions. The idea that climate change was real and it's in our best interest to move in that direction. And the idea that labor was at the core of what built the middle class. And we did it in a manner that was effective and could get things done. The ability to be able to talk to our producers and still be able to get a 97% voting record with the League of Conservation Voters. The ability to move legislation through and make the New York Times say, if you want to know how Congress is supposed to work, look at the VA committee. And along with my friend and great legislator and great leader Peggy Flanagan, we are asking for your endorsement to be the next governor of the state of Minnesota, to continue the policies and moving us forward that Mark Dayton has done, ensuring we don't go down the road, which we know what Tim Pauleni will take us to. I sat in that classroom and I watched beautiful, wonderful young teachers come into this profession and then get laid off because of him robbing from our schools to give tax cuts to the wealthiest. As a teacher in the governor's office, never again. I understand when I graduated from high school, 80% of the cost of higher ed was paid for by the state. Now we switch that burden to families and to our students, burdening them with long-term student loan debt and robbing us of an incredible resource for that. That's what we can do together. We believe in a Minnesota where every single person who's impacted by the decisions we make has a seat at the table. And we can take this message to every corner of this state, because we're not taking a Democratic message, a DFL message. We're taking a message that improves people's lives, a message of equality and inclusion, a message that improves the economies of all of those rural communities. But today I have probably a more important job. My job today is to be dad to a 17-year-old daughter named Hope, who's here. And Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at. We won't do it by dividing us. We will doing it by bringing in responsible gun owners from the side to make this happen. Give me the opportunity to earn your endorsement. We will make these things happen in Minnesota and make sure that this state continues its long progressive tradition. Thanks for having me.